Okay, Dead Reckoning Part 1. I'm not 100% sure when that second part's going to come out, but I'm going to go see it. This is the 7th installment of this franchise, and honestly, I've only seen 2 of them. It's this one and the last one with Henry Cavill. This was good. It had some funny moments in it, great action pieces in it. So the dialogue was fast. There was some fast-paced dialogue where, like, you're going to do this, you're going to do that, because you're going to do this, that's why you're going to do that. The music was great in here, and the comedy. Like, I didn't expect it to have that much comedy, especially in that one little bit. Most of it did work for me. Like, I'm guessing that car was just a plant that CIA just plant everywhere, and that's where he hit the button, says find me the nearest vehicle, I guess.
Safe, yeah.
That was funny because that thing was small, but it had a lot of torque, so it kind of screwed them up in the same way. And yeah, it was a little goofy.
It's very Italian too, because the cars there are very tiny, and it's less weight, so that thing was moving, and it was moving too fast, which was kind of funny.
Right. So the whole comedy thing was they were handcuffed together, and she was kind of like reassuring him, like, it's okay, you're doing fine. So I was like, I didn't expect it to have this much comedy, but it was working for me. There was a lot of female badass characters in here. There are like a good chunk of like female leads in here. One of them is obviously someone who is like a veteran of the franchise, who we did see exit the scene. And what is his name? Rebecca Ferguson, Paul's mom. So they did kill off Rebecca Ferguson's character in here.
They fake killed her in the beginning.
Yeah,
they really killed her.
Really killed her.
Through.
And we were looking, because every time someone gets stabbed right here, they're fine.
It's always this nice area here.
And then you look at her, and she's not blinking for a good minute and a half. So you're
too high for the heart, I think.
You're like, okay, I guess she is dead. And then we get this new girl in here, which is just a thief, a really good pickpocket, and what is her name?
I was
Grace.
Confused about her.
I didn't really care for her character, honestly, just because Grace, just because she was kind of introduced. She was super new. Of course,
now she's gonna be
like the new replacement.
She will be the new IMF agent. That's what it seemed like. I'll give you a choice. Right.
So yeah, there were some problems in it with me for her, just because she was a big part of this movie, and I kind of feel like they pushed aside Rebecca, and we pushed her in, and it wasn't the worst thing in the world.
It was almost a replacement too.
It did seem like very noticeably a replacement. So I can't really speak too much on the I guess the villains or the high stakes in all the other movies, but in this one, it's literally an AI taking over. And they reference like global warming and shit, where like if America has this power, when global warming finally hits its peak, we'll be able to control the world with this AI pretty much. So even the United States government can't be trusted. So the stakes are super high. This thing's super powerful. It's in every government, just sitting there, and it's alive, so it's a little creepy too.
If you think about it, it is your typical AI takes over the world thing, but it's a different way. Where it literally only takes one, and it can tell the future based off of probabilities.
Right.
And he knows the personalities of Hunt and even Dunn and Luther. I like how you're trying to outsmart something that can technically tell the future. And they do. You see that a lot in this movie, where Gabriel's kind of got his watch, and he's working with the AI. The AI likes Gabriel, so the AI is bad. Right. But you do see parts, it's kind of clever the way they edit it in here. Like, they're going through the train scene before it happens, which are flash forwards, but they're not necessarily things that happen.
It's just planning shots.
And in a way, it's kind of what the AI does, is they're kind of trying to predict the future. What if I did this? What if I did that?
Right.
How it would change.
Right.
And the setup, too, because the AI is trying to set up Hunt to do certain things, and if he does do certain things, or if he indulges in what the AI thinks he's going to do or predicts that he's going to do, then he loses. So you have to outsmart an AI. Literally impossible to fight,
right?
Because your phones, whatever. That's why I was like, when there's a part where Simon Pegg's character is in a self-driving car, and I was like, Is that
Yeah,
AI
yeah,
gonna
yeah.
drive him off something?
That would've
been
been-
interesting.
Yeah.
So
They might have made their villain a little too powerful, and then
which is fine.
you know, but you can see the holes in it. Like eventually, the AI does take over. Like it copies their voice, and it tells Ethan to go somewhere.
And did he
all this other
destroy the
stuff.
face machine? Did it
I
destroy
guess.
the face machine?
I guess. But the part about the AI that I do like was when the fake bomb, you know, was in the airport, and it was asking questions about himself. So it's gathering data on him.
Mm-hmm.
And faking him out at the same time. So it could tell you how good it is at predicting, and it is kind of scary and godlike. It does. There's that scene in the club where it kind of shows up behind him, and it makes that weird little vibrating
The
noise.
Transformer
Yeah,
sound.
you feel a little spooked out from it too. So that's what I'm saying with, is this different from the other Mission Impossible movies, where this seems like we're slipping in, not to the supernatural, because AI is a thing, obviously.
Yeah, they're evolving into the times.
Right.
Because guess what? We have AIs, and some of them do go rogue. Be honest, when I saw Gabriel come out of his coffin where he had the AI mask,
What was
yes,
that?
master.
What
I
was that?
understand. I started laughing. I was like,
Yeah.
that was too much.
Some
much for
things, yes, it's not a perfect movie. There were some parts in there where I was like, that was a little weird. And yeah, the most part would be the villain Gabriel, where you're just like, I don't know.
How many knives that dude have?
Yeah, he just
keeps
kept
pulling out
knives.
knives.
Like a fucking clown just pulling out the
Yeah.
handkerchiefs. He just came out with that the turtleneck and a jacket, and then he started doing kung fu and shit. And it was a little weird. And his fight with Rebecca Ferguson on that bridge was a little. He was like, Not to say the fight choreography in this movie wasn't amazing, because it absolutely was. I got some Uncharted vibes. With
I
the
was
train.
watching. I was like, he would not be a bad Nathan Drake. He would.
Tom Cruise.
Yeah, he really would.
I mean, better than Tom Holland.
He's kind of got the look.
He's doing the same things, obviously. I mean, I guess if
Plenty of room to do your own stunts in those movies, Tom.
I'm guessing since, you know, movies that adapt from games don't do so well, you might as well take the best parts of them and put them in other movies. And they did. They pretty much did a lot of that same
That was
thing.
getting a little ridiculous for me.
After cart after cart
It was
after
like,
cart.
It was like 5 carts.
I was like,
that they had to
why does it keep
climb
falling?
off.
So yeah, some of it did get a little repetitive towards the end. So Tom Cruise, this is the second blockbuster franchise that he is kind of still moving forward with. So I feel like he has some pull to, like, this is how we're gonna shoot this movie.
Absolutely.
And
Yes.
Mission Impossible is kind of like his baby. Like, he does these crazy stunts. I don't know how many times he's almost died from doing these stunts. I know that shot, the coolest shot that we see in the trailer where he ramps off. Apparently he did that like 7 times in one day. And he goes, maybe I can hold on to the bike a little longer so I can get more speed. It's like, the dude's fucking nuts. And let's not forget about when he got...
Shattered his leg jumping over a...
Shattered his ankle going over that little alleyway. I don't know.
And then kept running
Right.
on it.
And then strapped himself to a fucking plane. Like, he did some crazy stuff, and he should deserve all the respect. I don't know why he gets bad flack from some people, but he has balls, and he's a good actor. So I'm glad that every movie he is kind of in, it's still rocking. You know, he's still got it.
That guy's gonna live forever.
I think he deserves a lot of credit.
He
for the
seems
success.
just as spry as he was. I don't know how old Tom Cruise is. Dude's like parachuting off of fucking buildings and shit. Like
61.
he's 60 years
He is
old.
61.
He's older than our dad.
Look at him.
He looks great. He made a deal with the devil.
At 61, and he's ramping off.
Maybe Scientology works.
I guess maybe he is an
Maybe
alien.
the secret to the top do it.
Yeah, no, he did good. I can't wait for the second part. I guess there's no release date. Yeah, I mean, there was a lot of good things to take away from this movie: the action, the stunts, the choreography, the music, the dialogue, the comedy. Even
The 2 guys chasing after him the whole movie, they were hilarious.
Yeah, even they had some funny parts, but all in all, I think it was a fucking great ride. It was a banger for sure.
Fucking really good. And when you have your basic, like, true real stunt people that are doing real things, you're always gonna get me there.
Yeah,
I'm not, it's not like Fast and Furious where everything's mostly fake.
I feel like
No
Vin
one's doing
Diesel
real-
sees himself
yeah.
as a Tom Cruise, but
Yeah.
Tom Cruise does his own shit. He's a badass. He
Half
breaks
the
his leg
stunts,
and he keeps
yeah.
going. He's amazing.
Half the stunts in those Fast and Furious movies are fake. They're not even real.
Right, and those are
So,
beyond
same
stupid.
thing with the 007s. That's why I like them as well, is because they're doing real stunts too.
Right.
when you're real, you're always gonna win points for me, and the story as well was solid. So I don't.
Right. Like, yeah, it was like little crumbs, you know, it's kind of like the opposite of what we've been used to, of like, it's usually a big piece of crap sprinkled in some good stuff. This is the opposite.
The only crap I can say really is the cliche part of it, and with these movies, it's literally impossible. Yes. Not to be cliche, because you're always gonna have these badass scenes. You're always gonna have the villain who's like doing kung fu knife things.
Just keeps pulling
That
them
just
out.
don't make sense.
I think this is probably the first good summer blockbuster. Like, what other movie have we seen? I guess Spider-Man, but even then, this was better than Spider-Man because it was complete. And this is a part 1.
Yeah,
And
I knew
they both
that,
are part 1s, but this one actually had a conclusion.
That was the thing is we all knew going in. We didn't really know with the Spider-Man movie that there was going to be a third one movie unless you did your research before. But this says part 1, which means you're going to have a cliffhanger.
Right.
But it didn't matter because
You were satisfied.
we were satisfied with so much shit in there.
Right.
And in the end, a good ending. It wasn't a horrible... We actually end with Ethan having the key, which
Right.
I figured would not happen. I
Right.
figured that the bad guy was literally going to take off
and we're
going
going to start from step 1 in the next
we're
one.
going to start with him
But he's got
about
it.
to do the wrong thing.
Right. So there was some... At least you got something.
It was satisfying.
Very satisfying. But alright guys, that was our review for Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1, and we'll see you guys next time.